All right, the long-awaited review between the Lost Hydra and the Firewire Seaside. So let's get started with the Lost Hydra first. Now, both boards are 5'8" in length, and here's one of my first turns I ever was able to do on this board. The board takes turns very, very well. This board has really good speed. Here I am trying to beat the section. Unfortunately, I was just a little bit behind, but here in the open face, you can see the board performs very nicely and again is very fast. Now, I surf mostly point breaks, so here's a nice little point break, and I definitely want to say, just like every other fish, the Lost Hydra performs very well on point break waves. Here I am on a right, and it just handles this wave with ease. Now, the Lost Hydra is listed as a performance groveler, but here I was paddling for a wave that was a foot over my head, and the board handled it. So it's not really meant for big waves, but it can handle it. But this was definitely pushing it towards the limit. Now, overall, this board is a great board, and I highly, highly recommend it. All right, now let's move over to my Firewire Seaside. Again, this one is at 5'8". This is my very first session on the board, my first wave on it, and I mean, this clip speaks for itself. Handles turns really well, super maneuverable. This board is my favorite. And once again, even though it is a super groveler, this board can handle head high to a little bit over head high with ease. But just like the Lost Hydra, the Seaside really excels when it's 3 to 4 foot. On these right-hand point breaks, it just handles these waves and glides on them very smoothly, and it just makes these kind of waves so fun to ride. But here's where the Seaside separates itself from the Hydra. It just is light and nimble and so easy to turn. So, in comparison, when we look at the Hydra, it's a great board. I was able to do a nice little turn there. But here on the Seaside, this board just is slightly more maneuverable than the Hydra, in my opinion. A little bit easier to turn. Here I am on the Hydra again, on a nice little calm little 2 to 3 foot point break, and then on the Seaside, you can just see it on the turns. It's a little bit more easy for me to get aggressive on the turns on the Seaside.